Hey everybody, welcome back to another Krita class tutorial. Today we're going to go over something just kind of one-off, something simple, and that's just making our own sticker design or sticker sheet or whatever you want to do. I am personally going to be making a sticker sheet today, and I'm just going to show you like some things to do, like for the process start to finish within Krita to make things a little easier and design it. Now, the first thing you normally would want to do is a little bit of product research, and a lot of people don't talk about this. Product research is basically, let's say I go to whatever, like Etsy, for example, and I just search skull sticker, right? And I get all the results and stuff like that. What you're supposed to do with product research is look to see what the popular items are. So, for example, style, color, meaning is it black and white, is it like a full-blown illustration, like different colors and things like that. The level of detail, is it more cartoony or is it more stylized, or if it's stylized, is it still like really full of detail? And the size, the structure of the sticker sheet, is it a variety of designs or a single one? That's typically what you do in product research. Now, I know that AI exists and there's a lot of AI products. I still include that in my product research, not because I think it's good, but if you go and look at those listings, I tend to see like people actually buying this, and if they are, why. And generally what I have found is it's the style. So they like the watercolor look, which is very popular. It's the colors. And that looks not spelled right. It's the colors, and it's the detail in terms of like there's a lot of stuff with it. It's not just your typical like skull here and he's just, you know, very angry. It has something to it. It's not accurate, obviously. It's all meshed together and just a hot mess if you look closely, but there's something that is catching people's eye, and I'm like, okay, so I can at least pull from that. And I obviously can draw, so I can actually make it cohesive and 10 times better. But that's typically what I would kind of note when I see those AI listings. So it's kind of like me saying, you can't draw, but I can do it better. So that's kind of what I do when I come across those types of listings in my product research. So today we're doing this because I need to make a bundle of like Christmas, Halloween type things for some of my washi tapes. And I want to add a little bit more to it besides, oh, you can get 2 washi tapes together. I want to add like a little bit of a theme to this. So maybe like a small, thin sticker sheet. All right, so if you want to follow along exactly, that's totally fine. Obviously don't copy my design exactly, but you can obviously do a Christmas thing or something similar. That's okay. Just don't copy it directly. Okay, so I am back. So a common theme I saw was like ornament stuff, like designs. So I think because these are technically already ornaments, I think that'd be fun to do an eyeball ornament and just a skull, like an individual. And then I did see some candy canes, just like they put skulls and stuff on it, which not really. They were good illustrations, but not something I really want to. However, it did give me an idea that maybe I should add like a third design in here of maybe something simple. So by simple, I mean I could do a stocking that's like more, wow, I can't spell stocking. It could be more of a Halloween theme, or I could do a ghost. For some reason, ghosts are very popular. Ghosts in Santa hat. I literally don't understand, but ghosts are very popular in my shop. That I have figured out, so I should probably lean into that. So that we have a couple ideas. I'm just going to cross that off. We're just going to go with these 3 and start sketching this out. So what we want to do for our sketching is we want to just build as many designs as we can and pick the ones that kind of stick out to us. So I'm going to quickly draw up a couple and then we'll start picking them. Okay, so I've sketched 4 little designs for each like theme, I guess. And I got 2 for the ghost that I actually like, 1 for the skull and 1 for the eyeball, which I think the bow would be really cute. You know, Christmas holiday theme. I'm trying to keep it like lighthearted. I actually thought, I'm like, oh, I'll do like a classic weird swirly ghost versus like the tail only. And I'm like, well, maybe I can try a reindeer. That'd be really cute. And I actually really like that. So I might actually make this like a bigger sticker at some point. I don't know. But anyway, we're gonna move on. So here, I did try to kind of lay out the size how I want this to be. So before I go any further, I'm going to go to a different layer and I'm going to actually convert this to inches. And I'm going to put this at like 2.5 and let's see, 6 is down here. I'm going to do a rough layout of all this. And I'm going to move my reference images up. So if I make my sticker sheet that size, I'm just going to block it in with some color. I'm not going to do anything crazy. I'm going to say this is like the name of the sticker sheet, and then down here is just, we'll say no, anything's going to be down there except my shop information, and I'm just like making really rough save zones, I guess, or margins for this. Alright, so if I were to put these stickers in here now, what size would they be approximately? Let's see here. They're probably going to be like 1/2 inch. So I'm going to actually make a box here. I'm just going to draw it in. So this is the start and then this is the bottom. So we'll say we'll make these about 1/2 inch. Now, it may actually be that some of these are smaller or larger than others, like the ghost reindeer might actually be a little bigger, and that's okay. I'm just going to copy and paste this in here and see how many I can fit per page. Merge that layer below. So right now I'm just duplicating it and merging the layers. If you don't want to copy and paste into a new layer, what you can do is you can hit Control C, go to Edit, Paste into Active Layer. It doesn't have a shortcut, but you can always customize that shortcut. Okay, now I have my theoretical side stickers. I have 1, 2, 3, 4. I have 6 rows and 3 columns, so that's 18 stickers, unfortunately. No, that's not. Yes, it is 18 stickers. So unfortunately I couldn't get like 25 to 30. If I wanted to make this a 6x3, I probably could add another row, or I'm sorry, another column, and get another 6 stickers and make it 24. That might be pushing it, but honestly that might be okay. I'm just gonna, and these bleeds, I'm just eyeballing this. It's just like a rough idea. I don't know how far I'd actually want them to the edge of the paper after cutting. That's usually something I decide in the final layout, like when I go to put them in Vanity Publisher. Yeah, so I might be able to squeeze another one in if I really squish this in here. But because all of the designs are a little different and they may not be all exactly 1/2 inch, that may not be the way to go. So unfortunately I may not be able to do 25 to 30 stickers per sheet, but that's okay. 18 is still pretty good, especially if you're getting 3 designs. I think that's fine. Alright, so I'm just going to hide that layer. So the next thing we want to do when you're making a sticker or even a sticker sheet is we want to make sure our color settings are correct before we even do anything. So right now I'm on RGB. I'm going to switch it to CMYK. You can see things change a little. I'm going to go to my advanced color selector. I'm going to click on this box. I'm going to go to the color selector tab, and down here, same thing, CMYK, hit OK. Everything looks dull. I understand it's not like ideal. However, when you go to print, almost everything prints in CMYK because it's cyan, magenta, yellow, and key black. There is no colors in between. It is a very limited color ink set of colors. Now some printers will have more advanced ink spots, Some do like light cyan, some do gray, some do, there's a couple other colors. I can't remember off the top of my head, but they have a whole range of inks to put in the printer beyond the CMYK. Most of us don't have that, and most printers just stick with the CMYK to keep it easy, like simple and stuff like that, especially if they're laser printers. So we're just going to keep with the CMYK profile, and you don't want to work in RGB and then go to print it on a CMYK printer and then your colors are super off. Like for example, your greens, I'm actually going to switch this back to RGB so you can take a look. Look at the, actually, does it preview in here? No. So look at your color selector, look at the greens and the blues and how dull they look. Let's switch back to RGB and hit OK. There's a very high vibrancy here, or saturation, that doesn't exist in CMYK. So if you were to use all these beautiful colors and when you go to print it, it looks a little muddy, a little dull, that's why. And then you're going to be upset because it's not very accurate, and in most cases I don't care if it's like a little off, because at this, honestly, nobody knows what my files look like before I print, so I'm usually not that concerned about it. But for certain colors and certain color ranges, like your reds and greens and your blues, it is really important. So I'm not, forgot to switch this back. Like, oh, this whole area here, it almost doesn't exist. And that's usually where you want to make sure you're using the right colors, because if this were to be RGB and you went to print it and it just, you lose all that saturation and that vibrancy, you're just going to be a little disappointed. And it's better to curb that expectation ahead of time before you put all that effort in, than waiting till after you print and then having to convert profiles, having to tweak the colors. It's going to be a huge pain. So let's just start correctly. All right, and the second thing we want to do is, normally I would outline things as they were, like, actually get rid of these guides here. For example, I would just draw over this with a new layer, but I'm actually not going to do that. I'm going, because I would like to have some of these as their own individual design later on. And these are kind of too small to make into a larger image, maybe a bookmark or something else. So what we're going to do is we're going to copy and paste it into this active layer here, which is empty, and we're going to enlarge our sketch. Now another point, when you're making stickers or anything else, the larger you make the file, the more versatile it can be, because you're not like taking a 2x2 sticker file that you just made and you're saying, oh, I want to make it into a bookmark, and your bookmark, for example, maybe you want it to be like the primary focus. Well, you can't really take a 2x2 file image, blow it up to like a 3x something or other and have it look good. That's, unless it's vector. That's not going to happen with a rasterized image. So I'm going to go ahead and just copy one from each category here. All right, so now that we have our files set up, our sketches picked out, we want to make the line art and just add some color. I'm going to add just like a flat color to these just to save time for the tutorial. But usually I will make a new layer for the line art and use whatever brush I want to just start outlining. And yeah, if you need to, you can go ahead and refine the sketch if you need a little bit more detail. If I think I'm fine as is, I don't think I need it. And all right, so I'm gonna go ahead and outline this, and I will see you in a little bit. I am happy with, for the most part, of the design, so I'm gonna go ahead and use the colorize tool to get the color going and just make life a little easier. If you don't know, the colorize tool is just a fast and easy way to do things, so we're gonna use it here. The colorize mask tool, make sure our line art layer is selected, and then click on it. Because these colors are going to be very simple, I'm not going to worry too much about what I'm choosing. So I don't like to use like a complete white. I like to add a little bit of color, so I'm just going to use like a bluish tint for the ghost. I'm definitely going to use a red for the nose. I'm going to use brown for the antlers. I was thinking about maybe just keeping them the same as the sheet, but we'll just do brown. Now when we're using the colorize mask tool, you want the outside of the line art to be a different color. So I'm just going to go with this blue and scribble all around. Scribble in here, over here. And then in the tool options, I'm going to check off transparent, so that way when we update this, all that blue, it's going to be empty. It's going to stay transparent. So we're going to update that. And then we're going to edit keystrokes, turn that off. Ooh, that's a bright red. I might change that. All right, this is good enough. So I'm going to right click on the colorize mask tool and convert it to paint layer. And now we're done. So I'm just going to group these together. Click group. Perfect. Now we want to make our final design for the sticker sheet, which is the background of it. Normally I would do this in Affinity Publisher, but for the sake of the tutorial, we're going to keep this in Krita. I'm going to turn off my graphics layer here with little sticker designs. I'm going to make a vector layer, and we're going to make a rectangle. So because this is Christmas, I'm actually going to give it a light green color. I think we said we want this to be 2 by 6. So this should be about that size there. Confirm that. Click on this. Under tool options, go to this checker or this dotted layer here. We're going to right click on these, change the unit to inches. Okay, perfect. So it's about 2 by 6. Perfect. And we are going to fill it with that color. All right, so now we have the size. I'm just going to move it over here. And we'll change the corners. I like to keep mine rounded. Alright, so I can't really keep or change the roundness of the corners, but that's okay. I'm actually going to duplicate this. I'm going to Control Copy and then Control V. Because what I like to do is keep this a little darker for, oops, close that, for the title there for a minute, but that's okay. Alright, so this isn't perfect. Gonna line this up. Actually, we can use our arrange tool. Dockers, arrange. We're gonna center these and make sure they're aligned at the top. Perfect. And we're just gonna copy and paste this down at the bottom as well. Perfect. So that looks good. Now what we want to do, I'm gonna actually duplicate this group. Put that on, and we're just gonna shrink it. Front. So I'm just going to place these haphazardly and duplicate this. Alright, that looks good. Now we want to kind of move the reindeer a little bit. He's a little too close because we have one more thing to do before we finish this. So I'm just going to outline. First, use my selection tool. Make sure add is on. And select around each little reindeer. Alright, so with each one selected, make sure the check mark is here. We can go back to our transform tool, click on that, and then we can move all of them at once. We don't have to do it individually, which is very, very nice. Don't want to get too close to the edge. I'm actually going to do that for the skull as well. And we're just going to use our transform tool and move them over a little bit. Perfect. All right, so I'm going to group these together. Group. And now we're going to do a layer style. And that is going to be a stroke. I think in Affinity Publisher it's just called outline, but we're going to do a stroke in Krita. Alright, so we're going to take the blend mode and turn this to normal, which is under mix. We're going to do the opacity as solid, and we're going to change the outline color to white. So what we're doing is we're creating space around the artwork. So when we cut the stickers out on your cutting machine, whether it's Cricut, Silhouette, whatever else it is, you have space to do it and you're not going to cut into the artwork. And you can change the size of the white border over here. It's a little too thin. I mean, you technically can do a thin cut line, but I like to give myself a little bit of room for error. That way, if I don't line the paper up correctly or the cutting is just off by a little bit, it's not going to drastically ruin the sticker and I lose out on a print. And that looks pretty good. I still have to space some of these out a little bit, but for the time being, I think this is pretty good. Now, if you want to go back and change the spacing on any of this, so let's say, which one? I'm going to actually change the spacing in the bottom 3. Move these down a little bit. You can see that the effect layer, the stroke that we just did, it's not going away. It's staying with that because it's all grouped and that entire group has this effect applied, which is pretty nice. So you don't have to go through individually and change anything, it's just hassle-free. I love it. All right, so our final details, we want to add like maybe some text up here. So I'm going to do that real quick. And I'm just going to call this Christmas sticker set. Normally I like to use boxy, I like to keep it bold, and I like to keep it big. We're going to do... Okay, that's good enough. Probably would want to change this a little bit, but that's okay. Looks good. And now we're going to actually do the same for the bottom. What I like to do is put my website, or at least my shop information at the bottom. All right, and that is our little Christmas sticker set. I'm just realizing that. So that's how you can make a full-blown sticker sheet within Krita. Now I do want to add a couple notes here as I'm centering these things. When you go to put this into your cutting machine, software, whatever it is, what I typically do is I keep this as a single export, what you see here, and I actually duplicate the artwork. So I'm going to actually go to layer style. What I do is I actually decrease the cut here, so we'll say 15, and I will put a color overlay on it. So we'll keep this at normal, and the color overlay I just put to black to keep that solid. And you can actually keep this transparent if you want. Actually, the stroke color we also want to be black. There we go. So I'm gonna rename this. All right, this is the flat artwork. I'm actually gonna name this the bleed. And then flat artwork cut. Okay. So when you're done and ready to export, my personal method is just I would export everything you see here as the printed file, and then I duplicate the artwork only, and I would turn it black and shrink that outline that we made a little bit, and that's the official cut. So everything in black, this is where the cut is, and on the sticker sheet, when you peel the sticker off, there'll be a little bit of white left on it, and that's to help decrease the margin of error. So that way, if everything's a little bit off when I go to cut, it's not going to ruin the sticker sheet. It's just something I found to be extremely helpful and works really well, especially with Cricut. So that's one way you can go ahead and set up your cut files for your stickers. So that's pretty much it. Hopefully this tutorial was fun. You can actually go make your own stickers. If you don't have a sticker cutter at home, you can just upload this to whatever, like there's a couple of different options online to order sticker sheets. And typically they'll just ask for your artwork, and it's helpful if you give them the cut file, which will just be this right here, and they can kind of line it up and figure it out. But yeah, so you can actually send this out to get printed the way you want, and you've made your own sticker set here, and I think that's fun. And if you're like a gift giver on the holidays that likes to make the gifts, this is a really fun way of doing it, especially for your family, your friends. So you should go make your own designs. All right, so that's it for this tutorial. Hopefully it was fun. Hopefully if you're new to making anything in Krita and you wanted to do stickers, either just for fun, for a business, for family, for gifts, whatever, this helped you a lot, especially with setting up the cut lines and things like that. And if it did, let me know in the comments below. I would love to see it. You can actually share it in the Discord that I have built up. The link is in the description. And yeah, thank you guys for watching this video. Make sure to like and subscribe. We're going to go into illustration projects next, which are a little bit more complicated, and I will see you there.